Hello everyone, welcome back to this new Photoshop tutorial. This tutorial is going to be about doing this reflected text effect. This is already done because I messed up and didn't record my mic, but I'm just going to explain the steps for this process to create this effect. So basically, what we start out with is we just start out with our text on our lake layer and above our lake layer. So we put it about where we want in the scene, and what we do is we just use our quick selection tool to select that text and just paint around the edges a little bit with a low opacity black brush to get that little bit of a shadow on the outside so it looks a little bit more defined in the scene. And we also want the blend mode. I like the blend mode on screen because it gives a little bit of, you can kind of see through it, which, I don't know, it looks cool for some reason, and I just think that looks nice. So the next thing we do is we add a bevel and emboss, and we just want inner bevel, turn the depth all the way down, turn the size down to 1 pixel, just so it gives it a little bit more of a slight definition out in the scene. So next what we do is we copy this layer. And we copy this layer and go to Edit, Transform, Skew. And what that does is it allows us to drag out that layer so we can get any kind of perspective. So just put it, I like it like that, just so it feels more flat on the water and not jumping out like our original layer. And what we want to do is we want to turn down the opacity. I have this on 23%. And change this layer style to overlay. And the last thing, the subtle effect, is we go to filter, distort, and wave, and you just play around with those settings and look at the preview box on the right hand side. And what this does is this gives it sort of that ripple effect. So what that does is it gives it sort of the ripple effect in the water. So it's not just flat there. I think that looks a little cooler, makes it look a little bit more distorted, and it gives it that last edge. And the final thing we do is we use the elliptical selection tool on our lake layer, and if we zoom in we can see this better, but we have that shadow under the text. And what we do is we use the elliptical selection tool to make a shape like this, say under the text. And we just use the paint bucket tool on a low opacity with black and just fill it in so it's a subtle shadow, but we'll get rid of that because we only want it under the text. So overall, it's a pretty easy effect, and I think it looks pretty realistic. I mean, the reflection part, and yeah, it's pretty cool. You can kind of add some cinematic text into a water picture, or you can have it go into a puddle. You can be creative with it. But yeah, that's just a fast tutorial and quite an easy one. So thank you for watching this tutorial. And yeah, I will see you in the next one.